This doesn't need to be a long, drawn out video, so I figured, you know what? Eff it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Right, Bill?
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So we're going to do it live. Watch this, guys. I just can't believe people get involved in the dog and pony show, smoke screen, political, parasitic, three-ring circus under the big top. Watch this. This isn't a big deal. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. You don't need to be a chemist or a great mathematician to realize that everything that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says right here is absolute 100% BS. And we're going to prove that. We're going to prove that with logic. We're not going to be, people go, oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's so dumb. She's dumb as a rock. I don't think these people are dumb. These people are smart. She's sitting in the halls of Congress writing laws for the little people to obey. If you don't obey Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's laws, guess what? You get your ass thrown in jail. She may be a puppet, but she's not a dumb puppet. She's a smart puppet, a very smart puppet. A corrupt puppet, an immoral puppet, but a puppet nonetheless. Okay, check this out. Let's see if we can detect some lies from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
People like to say, oh, this is about free stuff. This is not about free stuff. These are public goods. They're public goods. So I'll never want to hear the word or the term free stuff ever again.
Now, technically, she's right. It's not about free stuff. Listen to what she said. I'm going to play it again. Listen to this. Very easy to detect the illogic train that she's going down.
People like to say, oh, this is about free stuff.
People like to say, oh, this is about free stuff. Because Bernie Sanders is going, we're going to give you free universal health care. And Warren's saying, we're going to wipe out your student loan debt, and we're going to give you free college tuition, free medical health care, free. It's a human right.
This is not about free stuff. These are public goods.
Okay, first of all, free stuff is a euphemism, okay? And public goods is a euphemism because it's predicated on the free stuff idea. So she's basically using a synonym of an oxymoron. The synonym of an oxymoron for public goods is free stuff. Now we know in reality there's no such thing as free stuff, because if you do, like people say, there's no free lunch. Let me just turn this thing around right here. Why isn't this turning around? All right, if you say free stuff, it's not free stuff. The reason people say there are no free lunches is because there aren't free lunches. That food came from somewhere. Somebody had to expend time and laboring energies to bring that to you. So it cost somebody something. Now, when let's say a church or some kind of charitable organization gets together and they start feeding the poor, yeah, for those poor people, it was free. In other words, they didn't have to expend any time and laboring energy to get that. They got to expend time and laboring energy to go to the table and scoop out the food onto their plates, granted, but it's still free to them. It's not free to the people who produced it. So this is basically a play on words, and it's a double deception, because while she can say there's no such thing as free stuff. Yeah, that's true. There's no such thing as free stuff, but public goods is a synonym for this free stuff. We're going to give you free universal health care. We're going to give you free college tuition, and we're going to wipe out your student loan debt. Now, what I'm saying about AOC is I don't think she's stupid. I think she's articulate. She can speak. She can speak herself at least out of a wet paper bag. I'm not going to just write her off as stupid. Besides that, it's ridiculous to get into this ad hominem thing. The bottom line thing to AOC, the bottom line thing to Bernie, to Kamala Harris, to Pete Buttigieg, and all those people is everything they say, everything that sounds good is predicated on one singular bad thing. And that's the only thing we need to focus on. It is utterly immoral to give someone, oh, you're cold? Here, let me give you this hat to keep your ears warm. Where'd you get that hat? Oh, never mind. I stole it from my neighbor. You don't have to know about that. Well, I'm going to give you stolen goods. That's what a road is anytime you drive on it. Anytime you pass by a library, stolen goods brought that into being. Somebody had to exert time and labor and energy to bring that library into being or that road into being or whatever government gives you, because government can't give you anything it doesn't first take from somebody else. Here's a hat. Oh, thank you. I like what somebody said one time. Government is good at one thing. They're good at breaking your legs, giving you taxpayer funded crutches and saying, see, if it weren't for the government, you wouldn't be able to walk. Well, guess what? If it weren't for the government, I wouldn't have had broken legs. Thank you, government. We're from the government. We're here to help. So when I say AOC is utterly corrupt and she may be smart, but she's a smart puppet, kind of like, oh, we have a special guest here. It's AOC, the sock puppet. Hi, I just want to let you know we need to pass the Green New Deal. How much is it going to cost, AOC? Well, it's only going to cost $93 trillion. $93 trillion. Where are you going to get that money? If she was honest, she'd say, we're going to extort it from the American people and give it to the politicians, who in turn will give it to their banking Zionist overlords and further enslave the American people with transgenerational debt slavery. See how much we care for your kids? That's really what it's all about, guys. It's not about free stuff. It's not about public goods. It's where did that free stuff and those public goods come from? Because you could have a publicly funded road that was paid for completely by voluntary means. All the people in the society got together and decided, you know what? It'd be a good idea if we had a nice smooth road out in front of those businesses to keep people from damaging their expensive vehicles. Yeah, that's a good idea. That'll benefit me. That'll benefit you. It'll bring revenue into our town. Hey, that's a good idea. And it can be done. It's done all the time. We have something called the Cherokee Toll Road. It was paid for back in the 80s and they keep having people pay for it, but people just pay if they want to ride on that road, they just pay to ride on that road. But see, the problem with that is that's also kind of a government funded proposition, because if you don't pay the toll and you really need to use that road, they take a picture of your license plate, send it to you in the mail, and you get a $20 ticket or whatever. But things can be publicly funded in a moral sense or publicly funded in an immoral sense. So what Ocasio-Cortez is saying here is completely, utterly, 100% immoral. And they use euphemisms to slide this by the American people because it sounds like a real good idea to give people universal health care because it's a human right. Listen, if somebody's telling you something is a human right, that means another human or group of humans has a responsibility or an obligation to supply that human right. And the way that obligation or responsibility is supplied is through government use of force, period. Change my mind. Hey, if I'm wrong, leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow banned live stream.